our experience. I already turned off the music, so no copyright. Something's coming soon. I don't really know what that is all about, but hey, the content's always good. Hopefully free. Oh, and yeah, look. VR immersive education. Learn through experience. Doubt you're gonna show me any damn aliens. Bam. Start journey. Sit back. Take control during talking. Do I want interactive? What? It's cool they give you 2 options though. They're like, ah, we just trolled him with a UFO. Experienced wearing earphones are already on that. Oh, the Sputnik, yeah, okay. Talk about that in Metal Gear Solid. And you can see it in their timelines of, in the games physically. I need a straw to drink my coffee. You're to put a man on the moon.
No man can fully grasp how far and how fast we have come.
Oh, look at that.
But condense, if you will,
egg chair.
the 50,000 years of man's recorded history in a time span of but a half a century. Stated in these terms, we know very little about the first 40 years, except at the end of them, advanced man had learned to use the skins of animals to cover them. Then about 10 years ago, under this standard, man emerged from his caves to construct other kinds of shelter. Only 5 years ago, man learned to write and use a cart with wheels. Christianity began less than 2 years ago. The printing press came this year. And then less than 2 months ago, during this whole 50-year span of human history, the steam engine provided a new source of power. Newton explored the meaning of gravity. Last month, electric lights and telephones and automobiles and airplanes became available. Only last week did we develop penicillin and television and nuclear power. And now, if America's new spacecraft succeeds in reaching Venus, we will have literally reached the stars before midnight tonight. This is a breathtaking pace. And such a pace cannot help but create new ills as it dispels old. New ignorance, new problems, new dangers. Surely the opening vistas of space promise high costs and hardships, as well as high reward. So it is not surprising that some would have us stay where we are a little longer, to rest, to wait. But this city of Houston, this state of Texas, this country of the United States was not built by those who waited and rested and wished to look behind them. For the eyes of the world,
the space race,
now look into space, to the moon, and to the planets beyond. And we have vowed that we shall not see it governed by a hostile flag of conquest, but by a banner of freedom and peace. The exploration of space will go ahead, whether we join in it or not. And it is one of the great adventures of all time. Those who came before us made certain that this country rode the first waves of the Industrial Revolution, the first waves of modern invention, and the first wave of nuclear power. And this generation does not intend to founder in the backwash of the coming age of space. We mean to be a part of it. We mean to lead it. Its hazards are hostile to us all. Its conquest deserves the best of all mankind. And its opportunity for peaceful cooperation may never come again. But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why, 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? Why does Rice play Texas? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win on the other side.
I guess, but... Oh, it's bigger.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
Got a bunch of guys turning blue. That's a lot. 69.
I think the most memorable thing that I can recall about that particular day was an opportunity. My two friends here were being put into the spacecraft to stand alone by myself out there and look at the rocket and
was already admitted
see the sun come up
to
and the waves rolling in and the evidence of the millions of people watching, but nothing specific and just so quiet.
Buzz
And to realize that indeed such a contrast was going to take place. Kinetic activity preparing the rocket, but it was so quiet up there for me personally, and that in a very few moments we were going to be departing in a great roar and off for a momentous event.
Good Lord. And I'm supposed to have activity here. Do I play as Buzz? Hey, let me hear your name tags.
I thought we had a 90% chance of getting back safely to Earth on that flight, but only a 50-50 chance of making a successful landing on the first attempt. There's so many unknowns in that descending from lunar orbit down to the surface that had not been demonstrated yet by testing. It's a risk-reward equation, and you're able to accept a level of risk so long as it's commensurate with the reward that you will get by achieving the goal that you're after.
This is the type of patriarch shit that should be on freaking VR. Any more stuff, I guess. They should have done it a long time ago.
T-minus 1 minute, 35 seconds on the Apollo mission. The flight to land of the first men on the moon. All indications coming in to the control center at this time indicate we are go. 1 minute, 25 seconds and counting. Our status board indicates the third stage completely pressurized. 80-second mark has now been passed. We'll go on full internal power at the 50-second mark in the countdown. Guidance system goes on internal at 17 seconds, leading up to the ignition sequence at 8.9 seconds. We're approaching the 60-second mark on the Apollo 11 mission. T-minus 60 seconds and counting. We passed T-minus 60. 55 seconds and counting. Neil Armstrong just reported back. It's been a real smooth countdown. We passed the 50-second mark. Power transfer is complete. We're on internal power with the launch vehicle at this time. 40 seconds away from the Apollo 11 liftoff. All the second stage tanks now pressurized. 35 seconds and counting. We are still go with Apollo 11. 30 seconds and counting. Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Look at that bobblehead.
We have a liftoff. 2 minutes past the hour.
Right on. Thumbs up, dude.
Tower clear.
We got a roll program.
Neil Armstrong reporting the roll and pitch program, which puts Apollo 11 on proper heading.
Why is this cycle so?
Plus 30 seconds.
Roll complete and engine program. One throttle.
Altitude's 2 miles.
Oh, 11 Houston, you're good at 1 minute.
We're getting some radiation, guys.
Downrange 1 mile. Altitude 3-4 miles now.
I'd imagine that would cause radiation.
Velocity
back then.
2,195 feet per second.
No one knew.
11 Houston, thrust is go. All engines, you're looking good. Hi, Roger. You're loud and clear, Houston.
What's up, Rinky?
We're through the region of maximum dynamic pressure now.
11 Houston, your guidance is converged. You're looking good.
We're going to the
miles
moon.
downrange, 12 miles high. Velocity 4,000 feet per second.
Stand by for mode 1, Charlie.
With the legend.
Mode 1, Charlie. 1, Charlie.
Cliff Charlesworth taking a staging status.
This is Houston. You are go for staging. Tower's going. Roger, tower. Inboard cutoff.
It's definitely an
Inboard
experience.
Come inboard cutoff.
Experiences are very, very interesting on this VR stuff. That Until Dawn Rush of Blood was fun. Resident Evil 7 was fun, and the what is he looking at? What? Oh, nice. Like, it's so weird, like, looking down, like, if you were standing and looking, like, it changes it. I'm not even looking towards my TV at the moment. Like, I'm looking completely away from my TV, and it still goes through. It's kind of neat. You gotta use the options button to, change where you want to look at, though. I want to invest in more PlayStation Move controllers. I have the PS3 version. I only have one at the moment. I'll play that Accountant Plus with them. The Infinite Warfare one is like a extremely short demo, like the shortest game I've ever played. Just coasting. That's supposed to be that right there. Over here. Make sure I go far away as the moon, Michael Collins. weird. They're not talking now. The voices just kind of stopped. That would have to be crazy. Gotta give them some balls for the atmosphere, though. They just didn't know about the radiation from the sun rays or other planets. No one knows. It's okay, we got better scientists in science now. Whoa. We'll call you the Black Knight. No, the Black Knight doesn't even exist yet. I don't think. They say it, but I doubt it. I don't get it. We're gonna have to update this to put the audio dialogue in. That's so weird that the audio dialogue cut out. It's okay, that's what patch is about. So I believe something in the ground makes Teslas amazing. How crazy experiences. I'm back in the thing now. Nah, I don't really see the interactive part of it. Weird. I guess all this stuff's cut out. The cinematic version. I don't want to skip, but how do I get ready to take control? Oh, okay. You look. Nice. Docking sequence, separation, rotation, capture. That's so weird. You will first be required to pitch and rotate. So it is facing the module. Once you have completed this, you will need to thrust the command module forward. And using the aiming reticle, you do this as gently as possible to avoid damaging the spacecraft. Oh god, I'm dead. They give me the option to do this. Columbia. Command module, aka Columbia. Recenter. Pitch up and down. Accelerate and decelerate. Confusing.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Your go for separation. Our system's recommendation is arm both pyro buses, over.
Pyro
Okay,
buses.
pyro B coming armed. My intent is to use bottle primary one as per the checklist, therefore I just turned day on.
Roger, we concur with the logic.
Oh. It did. What's up, Buzz? Pitching.
Alright, Neil, we need to rotate the spacecraft now.
on me.
Okay, we got the Eagle in view. Moving forward. 10 meters. Fast. 8 meters. 6, 5 meters. 3, 2 meters, 1 meter.
Land your craft with a target before gently approach it with your craft to capture the LM. I didn't know that part beforehand. Yeah, it was weird, especially with the message thing, like the black outline cut out most of boss's head. I think about this. Don't look like either of them, but what else? I get the idea. Yeah. I get it.
Okay, we got the Eagle in view.
This invert shit.
Moving forward. $30 meters. 25. 20 meters. 15 meters. 10 meters. 8 meters. 6, 5 meters. 3, 2 meters, 1 meter.
Showing above. Showing it will be green. Only approach it with your craft. Yes. Okay then. I'm trying the whole accelerate, decelerate thing is massively confusing. Okay. Anyways. Come on. Race. Decelerate. I like the whole accelerate, decelerate thing. So weird. Translate left, up, and down. It's weird trying to figure it out too. Let's go for vape. Craft by pitching over using the right stick. After aligning with dock
We need to
target.
rotate the spacecraft now. Okay, we got the Eagle in view.
Invert. Other way.
Moving forward. $40 meters. $30 meters. $25. $20 meters. $15 meters.
Oh, I was too busy trying to read it. Oh, god dang it. Yeah, it comes up so late that it's just like, god damn. So it's just naturally when they decide it, basically. When it gets to certain conclusions, that's why it's both. So weird.
Okay, we got the eagle in view. Moving forward. $25. $20 meters. $15 meters. 10 meters.
I've had, oh man. Why do I suck at this? Wondercraft docking target show. Maybe I'm aiming at the wrong thing. I don't know. I hope I'm not. Yeah, I keep looking at this one other thing, but from the diagram earlier, it seemed like it would be this thing. coffee and Coke, huh? A little bit warm, a little bit cold. Come on, I want to get this done. Should be able to easily do this. I don't like this inverse there. Up is down and down is up. But hey, I ain't trying to be in your dang
Okay, we got the eagle in view.
Come on. No.
Moving forward.
I wish there was a speed gauge actually here. Something.
20 meters.
It looks like it's this thing
15
over
meters.
here from what it keeps showing.
10 meters.
God damn it. I don't know. It looks like that thing right there. Liner crafted armor. It don't look like the thing I'm trying to. Come on, man. This is taking way longer than I want to. What did I take for trying to do this shit too? Tons of man hours. I don't know.
Alright, Neo, we need to rotate the spacecraft now.
It's like, what do you mean, Doug? The spacecraft is rotating.
Okay, we got the eagle in view. Moving forward. $25. 20 meters.
Dude, really? Really?
15 meters.
Fucker. It's a little late.
10 meters. 8 meters. 6. 5 meters. 3. 2 meters.
Backwards.
1 meter.
It's even worse. I just gotta do this. No shit, Sherlock. It's like, don't hop out of reverse, at least a little bit. Come on. I can get this stupid shit done. Come on. Now, how did...
Okay, we got the Eagle in view. Moving forward. $25. 20 meters. 15 meters. 10 meters. 8 meters. 6. 5 meters. 3. 2 meters. 1 meter. And capture.
Awesome. About time, Wayne. About time.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Radio check, over.
Roger, we've got the high gain locked on now, I believe. Auto track and now.
Okay, you're coming in loud and clear, but Mike is just barely readable.
How is Neil? How are you reading, Mike?
Loud and clear now, Mike, and we understand that you are docked.
That's fine. Houston, we're ready for LEM ejection.
Roger, go for LEM ejection.
Thank you.
Apollo 11, this is Houston, over.
Roger, Houston, Apollo 11, go ahead.
Roger, could you give us some comments on how the transposition and docking went, over?
Yeah, I thought it went pretty well, Houston, although I expect I used more gas than I've been using in the simulator. Except for using a little more gas, and I'd be interested in your numbers on that. Everything went nominally.
This is Houston. Roger, we copy.
Cool. Time lapse 4 days, 4 hours. Nature human being looks by nature. Deep in her soul, where do these things just as salmon swim upstream? What's going on over here? No, sunlight, keep your radiation to yourself. So they seem like a gas-like thing. Oh no,
Eagle, Houston, the alignment and the initialization look good to us, over. Roger, thank you. Eagle, Houston, would you have Columbia go to the high gain, yaw 0, pitch -20, over?
There you go, 1 minute till take. You guys take care.
See you later.
My vape's charging frickin' from the PS4. All I say, like I can just
Apollo 11, Houston, we are go for undocking, over.
Take a couple off of it.
Roger, understand. Roger, Eagle, send dot.
Roger, how does it look?
The Eagle has wings.
Roger.
Let's rotate that way.
Eagle, Houston, we see you on the steerable, over.
The steerable.
I do believe you got thrusters on board that vehicle.
Yep.
Okay, you've got it. Do it, data. Roger, let us know when you're ready to copy. We have a DOI pad and a PDI pad, over.
Guidance says we're go. Coming up on 5 minutes to ignition. Gene Kran's getting a go, no-go for descent.
Okay, all flight controllers, I'm going around the horn. Make your go, no-goes based on the data you had prior to LOS. I see we got it back. Give you another few seconds. We're yawing, fine. Okay, retro, go. Fido, go. Guide, go. Control, go. Telcom, go. GNC, go. Ecom, go.
It does
Go.
VR on
Capcom,
and
go to continue PDI.
Capcom. What? Oop. Okay. Vape. Can't vape in space. Braking. Visibility. Oh, you actually. Oh. A single rocket, really. Must be just jet thrusters. Or module, aka the Eagle. Toggle landing site marker. Oh my god. A new button, eh? Triangle, huh? I have no idea how I do that. Start applying sellers from our species, man. We'll be lacking the moon and Jupiter. Why Jupiter? Wouldn't we go to Venus first? Alright. Technically, yes, that's a voyage for sure. That's why one was named the Voyage. Yeah. Might be even more, I do believe. Besides, and now just mean these cockpit is completely charged. Is that you, Bez?
Altitude 5,200 feet.
Okay, we got oxygen.
Altitude 4,200.
Houston, you're go for landing, over. Roger, understand, go for landing, 3,000 feet. Stop alarm. 1201. 1201. Roger, 1201 alarm. 2,000 feet, 2,000 feet. Into the ag,
These are finally up. Okay, we got some digital stuff going now. Oh god, what am I doing?
1,400 feet, still looking very good.
Roger, 1202, we copy it. 700 feet, 21 down. 33 540 feet down. 400 feet down. Down 3.5.
Oh my god. Oh, use the gauge above to verify your pitch. What's up, Spade? You are pitched over the faster you fall. Once you begin manual control or descent, you will enter P66 as shown in the above display. At this point, data restriction 1 shows your ground speed in feet per second. Dude, I'm not an astronaut. I'm a gamer. They're like, then play the cinematic instead. Well, probably. That's why I chose the interactive. I want to see what this thing's gonna be like. Just trying to get the full experience. Big. Oh, trying to get used to this cockpit again. Oh, there's a little ball thingies. Okay. Left stick is accelerate. Right stick. Try
Altitude 5,200 feet.
Oh, Jesus. No. Invert. Ah. Oh, Lordy. I'm not gonna make it. You son of a bitch. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. We got this.
Altitude 4,200.
Houston, you're go for landing, over.
Oh, no, we don't. Oh, no. Invert. Why you do this to me? Oh, no. I'm going past it. Oh, God. We come back here. No. And I just did not a barrel roll, but a somersault, I guess, huh? Oh, come on. I could do this. So, what the hell? I wonder if I just aim actually straight down. I don't know. I doubt it though. Braking is that way. Phase, landing phase. So you gotta do all over again. Hold up for additional thrust. Pitch backwards or left and right. Come on.
Altitude 5,200 feet.
Oh. No. Wish I understood this a lot more than they're expecting me to. Flew out of range. Faster you will fall. Oh, okay. I still don't understand that part yet. Come on. Doing this landing is just a pain. Well, I don't expect it. That's for sure. It definitely takes the patience of a damn saint. Oof. Oh, come on now.
Altitude 5,200 feet.
No. That inbound stuff is killer, man.
Altitude 4,200.
Houston, you're go for landing, over. Roger, interfering, go for landing, 3,000 feet. Put out an alarm. 1201. 1201, roger, 1201 alarm.
Come on, no! It takes so long to read a line.
47 degrees, roger. 47 degrees.
Altitude 1,600. 1,400 feet, still looking very good.
God damn it. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, this stuff ain't easy. That's for sure. I would imagine a real thing would take even longer to get down. This is awesome, but it's hard. I gotta figure this out. How does this gloop thingy work?
Altitude 5,200 feet. Altitude 4,200.
Houston, you're go for landing, over.
God damn it. I don't know, I don't get it. It just does not want to work. What I'm thinking it is. We're trying to faster you fall. I'm not seeing that. I'm not feeling that. Why don't you begin a manual control descent? I'd like to get to that sooner. I can't even figure out how to get to the damn arrow. That's gotta be so annoying. Come on, man. Back on, let's try again.
5,200 feet. Altitude 4,200.
Houston, you're go for landing, over.
Fuck you, game. Try to use its braking bullshit, but it's so hard to tell. It's so awkward. No, I wouldn't. No. I imagine most of their guys will use it anyways.
Altitude 5,200 feet.
Crap just never, ever feels right. That's the problem.
Altitude 4,200.
Houston, you're go for landing, over.
Yeah. Dude, piss off. Why? I just clicked the wrong one. What button even interacted that? Like, for reals? For real? Just gonna start me over, huh? You know what? I'm just gonna go with cinematic. I don't want to try to do this one again. It's not really fun at the moment. Getting frustrated and I want to enjoy myself and in the game at the same time play it. It's just better off doing it this way for this moment. If it was a live stream, it'd be different. Have it now here, so. It's supposed to look something like this. I tried to do this, but I could not do this. Okay, so the 10 and the 5 thing at the 50 is the landing thing itself. How are the landing even? This is what it would look like if I had actually gone down. So Man, this would have took a long time to land this thing from the way this scene's looking. Yeah, I ain't got the patience for that. This even seems like it's like a lot. I'm seeing dust particles. Wind. So the wind. I wonder if that was from the jets itself from underneath the propulsion here. Very well could have been. From that, we'll have to see when we get out there. Maybe. Oh, that's different. The Eagle has landed. I'll make sure this next step I want to go into this vision. At least I hope I do. Inches. This appears to be a very fine grain, as if it's almost like powder. Oh, this is very fine. It's one small step for man, giant leap for mankind. I could kick it up loosely with my toe. And fine layers. Where is the sound? I got no feet. Where are my legs? I wish I could see like my reflection in this plasma. That would have to be like the best parts. The low gravity. I love it, and it's not too bad, and I can play this also while lounging and laying back. Hey, come back this way so I can read you. Just change it. to where you're comfortable. Need a better mic. Seems to go over tiny little touch moves the whole thing towards me. More away because of the material. It's cool though. This one's the only one I've found so far with the VR that's working. One in jumping. Smoothly moving around is also maybe uncomfortable. Use with caution. Teleportation is strongly recommended those sensitive to motion or otherwise new to virtual reality. So, okay, ignore that. Deploy experiments. Deploy. The reason I say ignore that is I played Resident Evil like no problemo. Until Dawn, no problemo. Star Blood Arena, no problemo. Manifest 99 wasn't really anything, no. More like a demo. It's weird. Deploy experiments. Deploy all experiments and explore the landing area. When you are ready to leave, just approach the lander and click on the leave service icon. Or letter. Oh, that's so weird. Oh, it's the same little. You could take a photo, interact, teleport. Jump is triangle. I ain't seen this since PlayStation 1. Snap. Oh, the snap thing is gonna be weird.
Isn't that something? Magnificent sight out here.
Got a little delay.
Magnificent desolation. I want to back up and partially close the hatch. Making sure not to lock it on my
Oh, it's R1 and R2. Or the R's. Or the ones.
Are you getting a TV picture now, Houston? Neil, yes, we are getting a TV picture.
Oh, that's cool.
The passive seismic.
Oh my god.
The passive seismic experiment detected lunar moonquakes and provided information about the internal structure of the moon. This experiment studied the propagation of seismic waves through the moon and provided our most detailed look at the moon's internal structure. The Apollo 11 seismometer returned data for just 3 weeks, but provided a very useful look at lunar seismology. More advanced seismometers were deployed at the Apollo 12, 14, 15 and 16 landing sites and transmitted data to Earth until September 1977. Each of these seismometers measured all 3 components of ground displacement: up, down, north, south and east, west. If a seismic event is observed by 3 or more seismometers, the time and location of the event can be determined. Because seismic waves from distant events travel deeper into the moon than waves from nearby events, by measuring events at various distances from the seismometer, one can determine how seismic velocities vary with depth in the moon. In turn, this information can be used to study the moon's internal structure. Most of the events observed by the seismometers were due either to moonquakes or to meteorite impacts. However, the third stages of several Saturn V rockets and the ascent stages of several lunar modules were deliberately crashed into the moon after these spacecraft were no longer needed. These man-made crashes produced seismic events of known times and locations and helped to calibrate the network of seismometers.
That looks beautiful from here, Neil. It has a stark beauty all its own. It's like much of the high desert of the United States. It's different, but it's very pretty out here.
You know what's funny is he even mentions it's kind of like a desert.
The laser ranging retroflector experiment was deployed on Apollo 11, 14 and 15. It consists of a series of corner cube reflectors, which are a special type of mirror with a property of always reflecting an incoming light beam back in the direction it came from. These reflectors can be illuminated by laser beams aimed through large telescopes on Earth. The reflected laser beam is also observed with the telescope, providing a measurement of the round-trip distance between Earth and the Moon. This is the only Apollo experiment that is still returning data from the Moon. Many of these measurements have been made by McDonald Observatory in Texas. Laser beams are used because they remain tightly focused for large distances. Nevertheless, there is enough dispersion of the beam that is about 7 kilometers in diameter when it reaches the Moon and 20 kilometers in diameter when it returns to Earth. Because of this very weak signal, observations are made for several hours at a time. By averaging the signal for this period, the distance to the Moon can be measured to an accuracy of about 3 centimeters. The average distance from the Earth to the Moon is about 385,000 kilometers. The laser ranging retroflector experiment has produced many important measurements. These include an improved knowledge of the Moon's orbit and the rate at which the Moon is receding from Earth, which is currently 3.8 centimeters per year.
My pocket open, but
yes, it is. It's not up against your suit, though. Hit it back once more.
Oh.
Or more toward the inside. Okay, that's good. I start to lose my balance in one direction, and recovery is quite natural and very easy.
Huh. Oh, that's cool looking.
Around. Jack doesn't go off the surface. Not quite that light-footed.
Oh, this would be so crazy.
Have to be careful that you're leaning in the direction you want to go, otherwise you slightly inebriated.
something interesting in the bottom of this little crater here.
Where? Oh, awesome.
Okay, Houston, I'm going to change lenses on you.
Roger, Neil.
The dark side of the flag, guys.
Okay, Houston, tell me.
The Lunar Flag Assembly, or LFA, was a kit containing a flag of the United States, designed to be planted by astronauts on the Moon during the Apollo program. 7 such flag assemblies were sent to the Moon, 6 of which were planted, the exception being the one carried on Apollo 13, which had to abort its landing due to a serious spacecraft failure.
Oh.
The nylon flags were hung on telescoping staffs and horizontal bars constructed of 1-inch anodized aluminium tubes. The flags were carried on the outside of the Apollo lunar module, most of them on the descent ladder inside a thermally insulated tubular case to protect them from exhaust gas temperatures calculated to reach 2000 degrees Fahrenheit or 1090 degrees Celsius. 6 of the flags were ordered from a government supply catalogue and measured 3 feet by 5 feet. The last one planted on the Moon was slightly larger, at 6 foot wide, the flag which had hung in the Mission Operations Control Room in the Manned Spacecraft Centre for most of the Apollo programme.
Hey Neil, didn't I say we might see some purple rocks?
Find the purple rocks?
Yep. And incidentally, these rocks, very powdery surface,
Have what?
Neil, this is Houston, radio check, over. Hi, Roger. Houston, loud and clear. Roger out. Loud and clear, Houston. Roger, Buzz. Tranquility Base, this is Houston. Could we get both of you on the camera for a minute, please? Okay, the VN engine did not leave a crater of any size. It has about 1 foot clearance on the ground. We're essentially on a very level place here. I can see some evidence of rays emanating from the VN engine, but very insignificant amount.
That's crazy. That is so insane.
Something interesting in the bottom of this little crater here. I've noticed several times in going from the sunlight into shadow that just as I go in, I catch an additional reflection off the lens that, along with the reflection off my face onto the visor, makes visibility very poor just at the transition.
I don't understand the whole take a picture thing.
Sunlight into the shadow. I essentially have so much glare coming onto my visor. I'm under shadow. Helmet actually gets shadow, and then it takes a short while for my eyes to adapt.
It's the radiation.
Lighting condition.
Damn.
Inside the shadow area.
This is the solar wind composition experiment. The sun continually emits a flux of electrically charged particles into space. This is termed the solar wind. The Earth's magnetic field prevents these charged particles from reaching the Earth's surface, although in the Earth's polar regions, these particles can reach the upper part of the atmosphere, causing auroras. The Moon is outside the Earth's magnetic field for most of each month and has a negligible atmosphere, allowing solar wind particles to reach the Moon's surface. The solar wind composition experiment was performed on Apollo 11, 12, 14, 15 and 16. It consisted of an aluminium foil sheet 1.4 metres by 0.3 metres that was deployed on a pole facing the Sun. This foil was exposed to the Sun for periods ranging from 77 minutes on Apollo 11 to 45 hours on Apollo 16, allowing solar wind particles to embed themselves into the foil. The foil was then returned to Earth for laboratory analysis. This allowed the chemical composition of the embedded solar wind to be determined more accurately than would be possible if the measurement were made using remotely controlled instruments on the Moon, but limited the periods at which observations could be made.
Neil and Buzz, the President of the United States is in his office now and would like to say a few words to you, over.
Awesome.
That would be an honor.
Yes, you will.
Go ahead, Mr. President. This is Houston out.
Hello, Neil and Buzz. I'm talking to you by telephone from the Oval Room at the White House. And this certainly has to be the most historic telephone call ever made. I just can't tell you how proud we all are of what you do. For every American, this has to be the proudest day of our lives. And for people all over the world, I am sure they too join with America in recognizing what an immense feat this is. Because of what you have done, the heavens have become a part of man's world. And as you talk to us from the Sea of Tranquility, it inspires us to redouble our efforts to bring peace and tranquility to Earth.
It's so weird when you move your head.
For one priceless moment
Whee.
in the whole history of man, all the people on this earth are truly one. One in their pride in what you have done. And one in our prayers that you will return safely to Earth.
I lost her paycheck. Well.
Thank you, Mr. President.
That's sad.
It's a great honor and privilege
Someone's
for us
still
to be here representing not only the United States, but men of peace of all nations, and with interest and a curiosity and with a vision for the future. Honor for us to be able to participate here today.
And thank you very much, and I look forward, all of us look forward to seeing you on the Hornet on Thursday.
The Hornet.
Be advised that a lot of the rock samples out here, the hard rock samples, have what appear to be vesicles in the surface.
Weird wire.
Houston, roger out.
What? What a weird glitch.
Yeah, surface material, powdery.
Where'd the lid?
I don't know how good your lens is, but if you can touches above.
Okay, Buzz, we ready to bring down the camera?
I'm all ready. I think it's all squared away in good shape.
Okay. I'll step out and take some of my first pictures here.
Roger, Neil. We're reading you loud and clear. Let's see, getting some pictures and the contingency sample. Neil, this is Houston. Did you copy about the contingency sample? Over.
All right, you're going to get to that just as soon as I finish these picture series.
It's a little difficult to dig through the initial crust.
Very interesting. It's a very soft surface, but here and there where I plug with the contingency sample collector, I run into very hard surface, but it appears to be very cohesive material of the same sort.
Neil, this is Houston. Based on your camera transfer with the LEC, do you foresee any difficulties in SRC transfer? Over.
Jump up, you get down. That's so awesome.
I'd like to evaluate the various spaces that a person can traveling on the surface. I believe I'm out of your field of view. Is that right now, Houston?
That's affirmative, Buzz.
Neil is now unveiling the plaque that is.
For those who haven't read the plaque, we'll read the plaque that's on the front landing gear of this LEM. There's two hemispheres, one showing each of the two hemispheres of Earth. Underneath it says, "Dear men from the planet Earth, first set foot upon the moon, July 1969, AD. It came in peace for all mankind." It has the crew members' signatures and the signature of the President of the United States. Okay, it's quite dark here in the shadow and a little hard for me to see that I have good footing. I'll work my way over into the sunlight here.
Oh, you can use the D-pad too to turn.
Into the sun.
It's much quicker. Press up. Oh, that's weird. The D-pad's faster than the.
Has about 1 foot clearance on the ground. We're essentially on a very level can see some evidence of rays emanating from the VN engine, but very insignificant amount. Something interesting in the bottom of this little crater here.
It's a little difficult to dig through the
it's very interesting. It's a very soft surface, but here and there where I plug with the contingency sample collector, I run into
hey, it's paper, scissors. Hey, go back here.
Surface, but
Zombie.
it appears to be very cohesive material of the same sort. My pocket open, bud?
yes, it is. It's not up against your suit, though. Hit it back once more. Or more toward the inside. Okay, that's good.
That's about it.
Didn't know you could throw so far.
You can really throw things a long way up here.
I would imagine. Yeah, we're astronauts.
Tranquility Base, Houston.
No, it's...
Roger, go ahead. Roger, our guidance recommendation is pings, and you're cleared for takeoff.
Oh, to watch it. I get it now.
Roger, understand. We're number one on the runway. Roger. Beautiful. 26, 36 feet per second up. 5 to the pitch over.
Wish I had a picture of this right here.
Balance got lost. Very quiet ride. There's that one crater on there. Thousand feet high, 80 feet per second vertical rise. Eagle Houston, request manual start override. Roger. 2,600 feet altitude.
This is awesome.
Eagle Houston, you're looking good.
Let's say Buzz and Armstrong. Damn. I know the things Buzz said. It's missing parts of it. That's okay. I was kind of hoping they do it through VR. I'll just explain it. Should have known better. What in the world? Whoa. Looks like it's using a drone. Oh, that's so awesome. You gotta turn your head with it. Oh, that's freaking crazy. Submarines is crazy too. This is just like, wow.
Houston, we got the service module calling by. Roger, thank you.
And it's rotating just like it should be. Thrusters are firing.
800 nautical miles high, velocity 33,000 feet per second.
Houston, we'll have you for about 3-4 minutes through Redstone and then pick you up after blackout through Orion. Roger.
Guidance reports Apollo 11 right down the middle of the corridor.
And 11 Houston, you're going over the hill there shortly. You're looking mighty fine to us. See you later.
Oh, yeah. That metal would have to be able to withstand it so much. That's awesome. Wow, that looks crazy.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth. No single space project in this period will be more impressive to mankind or more important for the long-range exploration of space, and none will be so difficult or expensive to accomplish.
Apollo 11, Houston through Orion. Apollo 11, Houston, in the blind, Airbus has a visual contact. Apollo 11, Houston, standing by for your DSKY reading, over.
DSKY read.
Apollo 11, this is Hornet, over. Apollo 1, this is Apollo 11, read the live course. Our position 1330, 16915.
Aircraft reports visual.
Umbrella. Umbrella, the parachute, man. Umbrella. And it's stronger cover in the system. With some energy drinks.
11 Hornet, what's your splash down here, over? Okay, our splash down here, our latitude, longitude, 1330, 16915. That's, Hornet, pleasure up. Okay, Hornet, Apollo 11, there's not. All right, don't shoot.
Oh, music, go away. I don't know why music started there like that. That's kind of ridiculous. Next mission. $5,000 that would be so sad. Well, we have to replay this same thing at? I don't get it. What in the hell? Do we got
Hi, Houston. We got the service module calling by. Roger. Thank you.
do we
And it's
parachute?
rotating just like it should be. Thrusters are firing.
Yeah, I don't know why it didn't continue to the next thing.
Velocity 33,000 feet per second.
Houston, we'll have you for about 3 more minutes through Redstone and then pick you up after blackout through Orion. Roger.
Guidance reports Apollo 11 right down the middle of
I don't know why the skip this section wasn't working, but okay. Start journey and continue. I don't understand that. Oh, that literally is all of it. Oh. Okay, well. I'm Wayne the Gamer, and we just played Apollo 11. Wasn't too bad. It wasn't like anything mind-blowing, but it's definitely interesting, like through the VR experience itself. Like VR is its own thing, so it's something you have to experience. Just yeah. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and over.